And Mr. E.
We're back again for another live streaming Fooventures.
Yeah, and today we're going to do this amazing walk, but it's a little bit maybe not the great environmental conditions out right now to do that. Little wind, so we have some noise that you guys wouldn't like too much, and then we don't like too much. There's lots of biting flies out today. So with a stationary camera person, that would not be fun for them. They'd be getting bit a lot. We can move around, but they can't really. So.
And the irony is that we're going to be learning all about insects, mostly insects today.
Yeah.
Some other things.
Arthropods.
Arthropods.
Invertebrates.
So the arthropods have driven us out of our environment into our science lab. But it's exciting for you because we have resources in here that you wouldn't have out there, like microscopes and flex cameras, so that you all can look at the microscope together with us.
Yeah, and because our insect world, our arthropod world, our invertebrate world is much smaller than us, we can take a really close look at them and kind of zoom in on those sort of things, and it'll be super, super cool.
But you know, the insect, class Insecta, is huge, and we could spend probably 20 years covering in different classes or different phylums or subphylums. So we are going to look at decomposition today and our forest floor and who is out there turning the forest back into soil. Yeah. It's pretty exciting if you've ever gone into a log. So we have brought logs inside, and I can already see the log moving a little bit.
The log's not moving.
And something was moving in there. And we're going to tear it up. And we want you to ask questions. We want you to tell us who you are, say hello, and share with us fun things that you might know. Today we have Marcia, Abby, Pam Keener, Cindy Satlow. Your mom and dad are your mom and niece is watching today. Yeah. Hello, everybody out there. Hey, Cindy. Okay, so first thing you think of when you think of decomposers, type your answer. Who do you think it is? What's the first organism that you think of? Because I'm looking at it right now. Before I even see anything, I see evidence of the first.
Can we do synonyms for decompose? If decompose is a big word for you, maybe we can give you some synonyms. Okay. Let's go back and forth. You can.
Rot.
Ooh, decay.
I'm out of it.
Breakdown.
Oh, breakdown. Okay. Yeah. Recycle.
Ooh, yeah, I like that one. Recycler.
The recyclers.
Because the forest is a great recycling center. It's going to turn dead and decaying things back into soil. And our soil is amazing, and our soil is full of organisms. And so we're going to kind of draw the line between our soil and the surface of the forest floor, and then what's decaying into it.
Okay, so I gotta
say, Wendy, Kara, Maisie, Lucy, and Bella.
Hi, friends from Toddler Tuesday. Hi, Maisie. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Bella. Hi, Kara. Okay, so I'm going to show you a hint and see if you guys know who I'm talking about. The first, you've got to type in your answer if you think you know who it is. The first organism that decomposes, rots, recycles, it's this white thread-like stuff.
This is a good one.
Yes, and it's not what you normally see, because this is the stuff that's actually doing the work inside of the log.
Is it a root?
No. Does anybody know what it is? Type your answers in. Anybody? Come on, give us something. All right, it's also on the outside of the log. It's coming through, and when it wants to reproduce, it will send up bodies like these little flaky, crusty things on here that are drying out and dying, probably being decomposed by themselves.
Let's think about.
Come on, Kara. What is it?
FBI.
Oh, Wendy's got it. The fungus.
Yes, the fungus among us.
All right, so this is mycelium. Mycelium is the part of the fungus that will spread out, move through its source of energy, and decay, rot, recycle, break down, decompose the log. So we have some mycelium here. So that's the first thing we see. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And what's really amazing about these networks of fungus is they can be throughout the whole entire log, and once it's full, that's when actually the fungus will decide it's time to fruit. I've gotten all the nutrients I can, got all the growth I can do with my mycorrhizal system, with the mycelium. I'm going to fruit out and send out all those spores, and those spores are just going to go all over the place, and then they're going to spread to a new rotting log. So really cool how they kind of take the whole entire log up before they fruit out.
Mr. E.
Yes?
What is the largest organism in the world?
Well, there's this, I think, are they honey mushrooms? They're a type of mushrooms, right? And it's a mushroom basically colony that's reproduced over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and grown and grown and grown and grown and grown, so that there's these massive intertwining branches, roots of trees, and they're all hooked into there, breaking those things down, and they're massive, like square miles.
I heard there's a mushroom the size of the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, because it's all like the same.
It's not
tree.
the mushroom's fruiting body.
Yeah.
It's the mycelium.
Yeah, they measure it by square miles.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They don't like. They're not like, oh, it's that whole log. That's a big. They measure it a square mile. That's how big it is. It's insane.
Yes.
It's
pretty
really,
insane.
really crazy.
Now, some scientists, biologists out there, they might argue with me that it's an aspen grove.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the mycelium of the mushroom. Hi, Pam Groover.
Pam G.
How are you?
Tuning in. Awesome.
All right. So, should we dive in? Should we start breaking this up and see what's going on in here?
When we think about the log, though, we should talk a little bit about the log. When we got it from the forest, we have to remember that there's sometimes not so great things underneath of it that we might want to watch out for. So what we did was we made sure there wasn't a lot of big ants that can bite us. We also made sure that there wasn't a snake underneath of it. And the way to do that, and I'll show you guys that, is you roll the log towards you and you peek underneath. And then if anything is underneath of there, it can run away from you or go away from you. If you roll it towards you, everything runs towards you. So it's really important that when we roll logs in the forest, we roll it safely and that we look before we jump right in, because we don't want things to sting us or to bite us or to interact with us in a negative way.
So a rotten log, it's so valuable in the forest. It's not just decomposers in here. You get a whole food chain. Did you see that spider? Yeah, I was trying to show that. So we have spiders in here that are hunting and foraging for all the organisms that are living here. There's some little bit of web action.
Yeah.
There's a little spidey man.
There's a little tunnel web right there.
Yep. So, but this is just so gorgeous and beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah.
If you're a gardener, look at this. It's a tree, and it's turning into soil.
Beautiful soil,
We don't call it dirt, we call it soil.
And although that soil is full of nutrients that's turning back in, a lot of times we'll get these little circular kind of pebble piles that are made by this individual right here. Oh, yeah. And so what's really cool is when you interact with soil like that, if it's dark and it's rich and it's beautiful soil, a lot of times it's actually poop. And that poop is actually insect poop, and that's their recycling. That's their frass, yeah.
We call it frass.
And that mouth part is going to burrow into this, and that's where a lot of these large holes are from. There's a specific type of beetle called a patent leather beetle, which is
that a best beetle?
Bessie beetle, best beetle. Lots of common names for this. They are amazing, though. When we see their largest instar, their largest stage of development as a larva, you can actually hear them chewing in the logs. So if you're walking in the forest, you can hear their mouth parts chewing in the logs. It's super, super cool.
Okay, so this is a wood-eating beetle,
yeah.
right?
Wood-boring beetle.
Wood-boring beetle, one of our wood-boring beetles. Beetles are the largest order in the insect.
Oh, yeah.
3 body parts, right?
Yeah.
Head, abdomen, thorax.
Yeah.
And those, my friends out there, you might know my song that goes head, abdomen, thorax, abdomen, thorax. Head, abdomen, thorax, abdomen, thorax. All insecta come with 3 body parts. Head, abdomen, thorax, abdomen, thorax.
They also have 2 antennae.
But this one here, Coleoptera, that is our largest order of beetles. Class is the Insecta, Arthropoda,
2 antennae.
or phylum Arthropoda.
2 antennae.
2 antennae,
6 legs.
6 legs,
3 pairs.
3 parts. That's an insect.
Specialized mouth parts.
Specialized mouth parts.
Wings.
Is this the class Insecta? No, it's not.
Myriapoda.
Myriapoda.
Yeah.
This is a millipede, and my favorite little organisms. He's all curled up in his defense posture. He has, does anybody know what that means? Millipoda? Millipod? Millipede? What does it mean? Millipede. Out there, people, come on, work with us.
In Espanol, poder.
Oh, he's a bigger one. Look at that.
Poda.
See, they go in this defense posture. Oh, yes, look at that beautiful thing. Oh my gosh, I love them.
So these are millipedes, and buddy, come on, what does milli mean? Milli, gotta know your Latin words. Doesn't mean exactly what it says, but see his little legs going?
So amazing.
See that? This is a wood decomposer. These guys are eating dead leaves and dead plant material. They're harmless, although they do have, some of them have a chemical defense that they will give off hydrogen cyanide. And the hydrogen cyanide really won't hurt us that much. It could stain your skin. It might irritate some people. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me what milli means, by the way.
Millions of feet from Wendy. Wendy's the star A+ student
good guess. Today. Milli actually means 1,000, but it doesn't really have 1,000 feet. Hold on, call me. It has, but he does have in every segment of his body, they have 4 legs coming out of each segment. Whereas a centipede, a centi means century,
Centimeter?
a centimeter, 100th of a meter. It means 100, and they have less legs. So a centipede has 2 legs out of every section. A millipede has 4 legs out of every section, and the millipede's legs come out of the bottom. The centipede's legs come out of the sides. Centipedes are ferocious.
And
Predators.
most of them have a flattened body plan.
Yeah.
Not all, but most of them.
And millipedes have
Yeah.
they're wood eaters.
Yeah, so my family was talking about mushrooms. It's morel season up in the Midwest. So as the temperature of the soil warms up, the nutrients in the soil and all that mycorrhiza is like, let's get those spores out in the air from that mushrooms, and they'll pop up. So
Lucy,
cool.
I didn't know that either. She said that they hiss, and I didn't know that. I know there's hissing cockroaches, but I don't know
Yeah,
it.
so the hissing comes from the spiracles, right?
Probably, yeah.
So the spiracles are
They're
these
huge.
really cool
Oh, look at that.
organisms
Look
on the
at that.
side of the body they use for gas exchange, oxygen exchange.
Ooh, that's a cherry millipede.
Yeah, so they're really
Oh.
cool. We need smell-o-vision,
I'm gonna
right?
smell it. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
cherry almond.
yeah. So they have a chemical that they exude as well as a defense, and we actually like the smell. It's actually kind of bittery almond smell, right?
Well, I learned about it. I
Yeah.
learned that they actually produce a benzyl aldehyde
What?
when they're making the cherry almond hydrogen
Oh.
cyanide. It's actually
So it's a byproduct?
No, so it's a product that is made. So the benzyl aldehyde is what smells like cherries, and that's what they use to make hydrogen cyanide.
Oh, okay.
And you know what else I learned was super cool?
What?
In Africa, lemurs will rub the hydrogen cyanide. Oh, that's super cool. Sorry, they'll rub the hydrogen cyanide all over their body for anti-parasites.
Yeah.
But they'll also
For like-
hallucinate on it a little bit.
For like ticks and stuff?
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Like fleas and ticks and
Don't
stuff?
try it at home.
Yeah, don't try it.
Okay. And y'all, you know I don't get irritated by them, but if you do hold them, be really careful because you might be one of those people that are irritated by
Yeah.
the hydrogen cyanide.
And you can actually see really nicely on these guys how their feet move. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, one of those satisfying, you know those videos on YouTube of like
Yeah.
satisfying videos? Very satisfying to watch their feet move in succession.
Do you know what, Eric? I also learned. I also learned that about 400 million years ago. This is one of the oldest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Arthropods
Yeah.
on the planet. They were so big you could ride them.
Yeah, they're massive.
They were huge.
It's
Can you
amazing.
imagine? That would be fun.
Yeah,
I
that
love
would be
it.
super cool. What I think is super cool about them nowadays is actually how common they are, just how common they are. And because there's dead logs everywhere, if you be rolling over a log, you're going to find these sort of things. And it's cool to interact with them in a really nice way, but it's also cool to be able to put them back. So we're going to remind you all that this is not us necessarily destroying their home. They're going to be put back into a log pile. They're going to have lots of homes to go back to.
All right. Okay, so millipedes, and now why don't we just talk about their counterpart, which are not really their counterparts, the centipedes.
Do you want to do? Oh, that was an earwig right there.
So, centipedes are some of them are venomous. Actually, actually. Are all venomous?
Yeah, they all
be
have
venomous.
venom, too.
And they're predators. They're out here hunting around in the forest log, just like the spider was. So, but we have a couple that we collected earlier. We'll just show you just in case.
Yeah, centipedes don't necessarily hide in the log itself. They're more of a predator, right?
Underneath.
So they're going to be underneath, and they're going to be preying on some of the things that are breaking down these logs. So I'm just going to pour them right on
One
top.
time, Eric and I were in our garden. These are garden centipedes, and there he
Oh,
goes
he
in the
went
log.
right into
This
the
one,
log.
this guy. I'll let him follow me. I'm not afraid of him.
No, I'm not sure.
Where did he go? He's gone.
There's one right there.
So fast.
Oh.
Oh, so fast. They're scared. We're big predators. Eric, remember the one you found in the garden that was chewing out all the eggs?
So typically they'll find, or they'll have their eggs and they'll protect their eggs, they'll carry around with them, but what we think maybe happened with this one is it found another set of eggs from another centipede, or it was possibly maybe so afraid that it was like, oh, I need these nutrients and they're slowing me down, I can't protect them anymore, so I'm going to eat them. So it was eating these eggs, and you could see its specialized mouth parts cracking open the eggs and then consuming them. It was really,
Look
really
at
cool.
that cavity.
Yeah, there's a cavity in there.
So there's some rot going on in there
Oh,
when the
yeah.
tree was alive, more than likely.
Yeah, so that probably started maybe with some woodpeckers drilling into it, looking for those grubs, and then that cavity maybe grew as,
There's our
Miss
friend.
Michelle found
Well,
our
he-
friend,
Yeah.
the millipede.
So I'm trying to get in
Not
here.
the centipede.
I love millipedes. They're my favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, there's our spidey friend.
Mm-hmm.
There's our millipede. Okay, so I just think this is just so fabulous. Look at that sawdust.
I think, oh, we should talk about this. This is cool.
Okay, talk.
Okay. If you, oh, there's a spider running away. If you took all the humans in the whole entire world, we're going to talk about biomass, which is living weight. Took all the whole humans in the entire world, and you put them on a scale. Okay, we'll use our right hand as the human scale, the human side. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. This is our balance scale, and we're going to take all of the prey, so all the things that insect, specifically spiders, which are not insects, arachnids, ate in a whole entire year. So all the humans from a year, all the insects that a spider ate in a whole entire year. The insects that just the spider ate actually weigh more than all of the humans in the entire world.
What?
So that gives you an idea of how much biodiversity, how much different animals they are in the world. It's super, super amazing to think about the biodiversity and the biomass of beetles, of different types of...
Sorry.
I just got really distracted. I was like, what is that?
There
It's just an earwig. All the different types of animals that you can have just underneath of a log. All the different animals that aren't even a vertebrate animal. We think about vertebrates a lot. There's many more invertebrates. There's huge biodiversity. So you guys remember to throw out questions. We want to know if you like rolling over logs, what you find. I'm surprised we haven't found a few things that we normally do. And
Get
if
your
you,
hands in there.
and if you can think of an animal that you usually find.
Oh, look at that. Cracked it open. Oh, what's that? A frog. A toad. Yep, he's jumping up on your side. Coming on that side. There's a toad in there. He's hiding. It's
I
a
see him.
toad-abode.
It's actually a frog.
Is it?
It's a little spring peeper.
No, it isn't. We don't have spring peepers.
Not spring peeper, creek frog. Hopefully. Let's see. See on the back pattern? Oh, this is a greenhouse frog. This is our invasive.
Oh, wow. So look at that. A whole ecosystem here. So good question. Why are they called an earwig? So earwigs, the earwigs love to hide in dark spaces. And there was an old wise tale or old superstition, I guess that's what they say, that they would crawl into your ears at night while you're sleeping. Now, it's possible that they could, but it's not good habitat for an earwig. They would rather be in a forest log setting. If you're out camping in the forest without a tent, yeah, it's possible you might get an earwig or any other creepy crawler that looks for a dark place to hide, dark, moist place to hide.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not a typical pattern behavior of an earwig, but that's where the name came from.
Yeah, and if you flush your ears out, you'll be fine
Where do you
because
from?
they got to eat things, and there's nothing for them to eat in there because they can't get to your brain.
Oh, that scared me. Sorry.
Okay. What is it?
This is a
cool.
larva of one of those beetles.
Yeah,
Maybe-
superworm. So usually like blister beetles or darkling beetles or what the superworms are, they're all really, really closely related and so they look a lot alike and so it's hard to know what's what. But these are really cool because you can see they already have those mouth parts and those mouth parts are really good gnawing in the wood.
So can you tell that it's not a worm? And okay, that posture that he's doing, that's anti-predatorial, so that I can't catch him from a bird. It's hard for me to get him. But can you tell he's not a worm?
I can tell.
What can you tell by?
He got legs.
He got 6 legs. I'm gonna speak proper English. He has 6 legs. 6 legs. That is one of the characteristics of an insect. So he's a beetle. This is a grub, beetle larva.
Yeah, little beetle grub.
Yeah, he's got big mouth parts for tearing up wood, though.
Yep. And it's really, really cool because logs like this have lots and lots and lots of crevices that hold moisture, and that dead wood will hold moisture. And a lot of times, if you squeeze it, water will run out. Super, super, super cool. And that water retention is really important for the forest. A lot of times, rotting logs will be what's called nursery logs too, and insects and bugs.
Termites.
Nice. Termites are super cool. And then like other animals will stash seeds in there. They'll forget about them. They'll start to grow up and there'll be these really, really cool logs that have new forests growing out of them. So nursery logs.
Eric, where'd you get this log from?
This is by the backup of the bison in our forest. Yeah.
Oh. Do you hear that? Can you hear that? That's our little frog.
He's in the sink. There's another one there.
There's another frog in here.
That sounds like a toad. It's more trilly than froggy. Sorry, we're geeking out a little bit.
Oh, there's a snail in here.
Snails.
Snails are
Mollusca.
Snails.
So, whole
not
nother-
the same. Yeah, not
Whole other phylum.
Oh, I just think this is amazing.
I really want to see.
Oh, did we see that bad boy?
No, he's.
Holy cow! This is the cherry millipede. Ah! Oh my gosh, I love it. So cool. Man, this is the best science ever.
Yeah, we're obviously way more into it than these guys are, because you're not asking questions.
They're into it. They're just mesmerized. They can't even pull their eyes off to type in the question because.
Where is this guy?
Because
Really?
this is recycling right here. This is the forest eating itself and coming back to life. That's what Mr. E says all the time, right?
Yeah, the forest eats itself and lives forever.
And lives forever. Oh my God, this is so cool. We gotta find that little froggy guy who's chirping earlier.
I bet he's inside of one of these little crevices.
Yeah.
Perfect spot for him to hide.
Why would he be
Come
chirping
out.
inside?
That's very odd. Come out and then grab up a little termite, maybe a little ant. One thing that we haven't seen, which I think is a really amazing individual that is really common underneath things, is our pill bugs.
What's that?
We haven't seen a pill bug yet.
So a pill bug is actually in the phylum with the millipedes and centipedes. You mean like a roly-poly, a sow
Yeah,
bug?
like a sow bug, like a wood lice,
wood lice, roly-poly. I know, Lucy, you probably call it a, they call it a sow bug? Is that what you call it? Lucy, I'm talking to you. Answer us. Tell us what they call it in England. That's it, yes, we're totally interested. Yay! Thanks, Beth. Okay, Lucy, I'm asking you British terminology. I think it's, the roly-polies we call them here. I think you guys call them sow bugs. I think that might be another, that's a common name here too, but not as common as roly-poly. Roly-poly. So, oh my gosh, this is just so cool. Now, we're just kind of disregarding all these tiny little things I'm seeing, but we are seeing a lot of, are we gonna move over there now? We are seeing a lot of,
I just don't know what that is.
centipede, sorry, not centipede. What eats the wood? Help me.
Termites?
Termites. My brain went off. Do you want to scan over here and see what he put on the microscope?
Yeah, so this is, I think, some
A
sort.
roach.
It's got wings, though, that are not developed yet. I think it's some sort of stink bug. It looks like it's in the stink bug family.
Wood lice. Thank you, Lucy.
Wood lice, yeah.
That's what they call them.
Yeah. Roly-polies. Not all roly-polies can roll up, too, and they're actually closely related to like some of our marine isopods. Really, really amazing deep water dwelling, I suppose.
Head, abdomen, thorax, 6 legs, insecta.
Yes, he's flipped over on his back right now. Most insects can flip themselves pretty easily. This guy seems to be having some trouble.
Maybe he smushed him.
I didn't smush him.
I might smush him. I'm not.
Don't smush him. I'm trying to give him a helping hand.
I think it's a roach.
It's really pretty for a roach.
They're the wood roaches. Roaches should be in logs. That's where they should be. And I am really damaging him.
Try to flip him over, Michelle.
Well, these.
With your hand.
Okay. You do it, mystery. I can see how dirty Mr. E's fingers are.
Yeah, very dirty. I've been digging in a log.
That's why you all should wash your hands as much as possible.
I think it's a roach.
You think so?
Oh, it's a Death Star. What do they call it? Death Star roaches?
I don't know.
Death head roaches? The ones that have the skeleton on their back?
Those don't live here.
Oh, I don't know. I think it is.
It looks like a roach.
It's just a lot, like little young one.
Little young roach.
It is. So all these organisms are going
Looks
through
like he has 2 sets of wings.
metamorphosis.
They have,
I don't know. You know, this is the most complex phylum in the world, and there's so many species of organisms. It's just cool.
Yeah, there's like what, somewhere around a quadrillion individuals.
Can we talk about metamorphosis to our little friends out there?
Change.
Change. We all
The
make
only
a change,
constant.
right? Metamorphosis means make a change. Now, not all metamorphosis is equal, right? Some metamorphosis is complete, and some of it is incomplete. That's what we call it.
Mm-hmm.
Incomplete. So if you're doing a complete metamorphosis, then you're probably going to go through 4 changes.
Yeah, at least,
4.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you think about the classic insect that makes metamorphosis that we all think of, you know what it is? Butterflies.
Oh,
Right?
I was not thinking that
What were
one.
you thinking?
Frogs.
Oh, that's not really complete.
Yeah. I know, but I was thinking
So,
metamorphosis. I think of frogs.
butterfly-
What's different? What's wrong?
One stage.
What?
So butterfly goes egg,
Oh, yes. Okay.
larva,
Okay.
pupa,
Okay.
adult.
Adult.
That's
Is that
4.
4 stage?
Okay? And then like incomplete is egg,
Egg,
larva,
larva,
adult.
adult.
Larva may go through many instars. That's a cool word. It was instar. Instar.
Instar.
Instar means like development, larval development, where they're just getting a little bigger.
They do like an exoskeleton shed.
Yeah.
They probably eat it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then they will kind of look the same, maybe a little bit different. Some of them go through a body change when they do their instar or metamorphosis too.
Well, while we're over here, let's look at the
Oh, that.
Having a hard time with this word.
Termite?
With a termite. We have a termite here on our little glass here. And earlier today, I was squeezing their abdomens and trying to get their poop. Do you know why? Because I'm geeky like that. Well, actually, because they eat wood, right? That's what they're notorious. They're a pest for people, especially their houses. And but they can't eat the wood alone. They have to have help. So inside of their intestines, there is a protozoa that lives in their intestines that eats the cellulose, digests the cellulose, and gives them the nutrients from it. And if you squeeze their abdomen, you can squeeze out the protozoans. And I had some earlier, but I think they've dried up, and I don't think you're able to see it now, but we'll go on a microscope and look at it.
Sometimes, actually, what's really interesting is we don't think about this a lot, but when a baby termite is born, or is hatched out, I guess, a better way of saying that, when that baby termite hatches out, it doesn't have any protozoa, so how does it get it?
How does it get the intestinal flora? I read about
Yes.
this.
Ooh, that's a cool picture. What is that?
It's a little bit more magnified. This is one that's been mangled a little bit more. But they actually nurse in their nursery, in their underground colonies. They feed the babies, and when they feed the babies, they're giving them protozoa.
Yeah.
They're giving them like, swapping saliva, whatever, kind of giving them what they need in organism in their intestines.
And this allows them then to become a functioning termite within the colony
Here's
and
the
allows them to break down that cellulose.
These are antennae. So that's the head, so we don't want that end. It's dried up a little bit, so we aren't going to see very well. I don't know if I can find them anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they've, maybe they're seeking out the moisture from the individual and they've gone back underneath, but
I don't think they survived too long out of the
Yeah.
intestines, out of
but
the body.
basically all those little glassy things inside of there are those protozoans that function to break down the wood cellulose and make that cellulose into a digestible thing that they can make into energy.
Okay, I have 3 of them that I squeezed, so I gotta see. It might not have been that one. One of them was really good with lots of protozoa, but that was a while
Yeah,
ago.
a couple of
Because we prepped this for you earlier, and then it just kind of dried out.
There's the individual. Your cover slip popped a little bit. I wonder if you got air in there.
Yes, I have air bubbles. These are air bubbles. Air bubble, air bubble, air bubble. And then I had to squeeze them so they are like intestines and cells and things all on the outside.
Yeah.
So
Kind of cool.
I don't know if we're gonna get to see the protozoan on this video, but
We'll try to get some pictures and post them.
yeah, show you what we're talking about because it's so cool.
It's super, super cool.
We did this in a college biology lab once.
You get some really cool stuff when you think about things that live inside of you, animals. It's kind of creepy. Might make your skin crawl a little bit, but they're alive and they gotta live and they help you to live. So it's important that we realize that they're there.
Well, that's a mashed up, dried out termite. Some people think that's how they should be because they do destroy our houses. They eat our wood. They eat wood, paper, things like that in the forest. So, but this is a recycler, a forest recycler. Should we go back to our charismatic megafauna? And
Yeah, I want
Okay.
to. I'm gonna switch this over and try to get a good view of some legs.
You want to put this?
But
in?
you can look at the log, maybe try to find that other thing that's making
Here.
noise, and I'll get this set up for
Okay.
the bigger things.
All right. So we have a chirper in here. See if we can find it. Wouldn't you love to have that in your garden? Oh, I just love it. Like maybe a potted plant. So good. Here's another one of those beetle larvae swimming around right there. Okay, here's another millipede. We've seen him probably. Here's our big beetle, or patent leather beetle, bookworm beetle. Oh, what's this? Oh, looks like a, I don't know. The world is full of organisms that we have to learn about too. Now, I think that's a new organism. Here, I'm gonna put them in a container, keep them, and look them up.
Oh, Michelle,
I got a new organism here.
maybe you should talk about resources for looking through.
Oh, good resources. So if you wanna, you find a bug and you wanna know what it is, there's one really good resource that I like, and Pam Keener, she's out there, she taught us about it. It's bugguide.net. Bugguide.net. Because you can ask experts what something is and they'll get back to you, and there'll be a little forum of people communicating what their ideas are, what they think it is. What else, Eric? What do you like to use?
There's really good field guides out there if you want to have
Field
something in your
guides.
back. There's some nice field guides to invertebrates or insects. You can also think about, I like Bug Guide a lot, but you can think about even just reaching out to a local entomologist. So
Yeah.
there's university systems, and all those university systems have entomologists, and that's part of their job and part of the outreach that they like to do is to think about what you're finding, what's going on, and help you out because they like to spread their knowledge too. Part of their job.
Lucy was asking about the lifespan of a millipede, and you know what? I don't know the answer to that. So that's a good one. We'll look it up, and we'll research it for you, Lucy, and we'll put it on our forum, I guess, on Facebook, right, Eric? Because a lot of insects, they might overwinter, but they don't usually have super long lifespans because they get eaten a lot. Is this the same beetle or is this a different one? I guess it's a different one. I just think see, there's one there and there's one there. So the different patent leather beetle. See if I can extract him. Nope. Okay, where's the little chirper? Who is chirping? That's me. Come on out. Come out, come out.
Well, I think it could be a cricket.
Is it in here? Yeah. Could have been a cricket. It's not quite cricket habitat. See it?
Why?
Oh, there it is. It's a toad. A big old toad, Eric. 1 to 10 years. Lucy, did she tell us that? Oh, Heather, you too. So we have our research team. That was the man right here, the girl, female, chirping, eating in the log, hanging out. So much good food in here for them. You stay in the log, okay? We don't want you to stay in the log. We're taking you home. Stay there. Okay. Yeah, so this is a frog or toad delight right in here. Lots of hidey spots and also food. Food. Lots of food. There's some termites. They're tiny, but you can see them. Are bugs still in here? Yeah. I'm going to look it up later. So much cool stuff in a rotten log. Who knew, right? Yeah, so Oatland, because of all of our storms and because of our tornado, we have a lot of rotten wood here at Oatland Island. A lot of decay in our forest. So if you come to Oatland and you want to do an exploration, just don't tear up the logs that are right on the edge of the path, because we use them to line the paths. Although we do roll them. But you can come in anytime and tear up a log and look at it and do a research project with your children or with your parent if you're a child. It'd be kind of fun. Oh, this little guy is covered in insects. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to put this one on the microscope. He's got mites all over him. Oh, it's a woodlouse. Look at that one. He has mites. Yeah, you got to remember that there's mushrooms that decompose mushrooms.
Let's look at spherical.
And there's there are insects that have their own mites and oh yes.
So these little dots on the side are the sphericals we talked about.
That's where they breathe.
And that allows for exchange of oxygen. And he's opening back up, so that's really good.
So remember, 4 legs in every section of the body is a millipede. And 2 legs is a centipede. See that little creatures on him? Oh, what? Stop moving so we can see.
Yeah, so all those are little mites.
Oh my god.
And those mites are probably eating his body,
Do
actually.
beetles have wings, Mr. E?
Yeah, they do. It's really, really cool. They have these really amazing hard flaps, hard, basically adapted wings that cover their softer wings underneath. And these guys can actually fly. Clip beetles can fly. Those big dot-eye clip beetles can fly, which is super cool. And those beetles can fly because the wings underneath actually allow them to. A good resource for looking at this and seeing this is Lion King. Lion King does a really good job of accurately portraying how beetles move. They have a whole section about Timon and Pumbaa flipping over logs, and they actually show them flying away.
I
It's
didn't know
actually
that.
these really cool beetles that are able to fly. So cool.
And this animal
cool
is
back
not
again.
wet. It's
No,
the shininess of their exoskeleton. Oh, look at his club antenna. Oh yeah, he's having a little infestation right there.
Yeah.
So cool! Vitaly wants to know, how long does it take to decompose a log? Mystery, give us your best assessment. I mean, I can tell you what I think. But.
So it depends on the environment, right? We have to have things that allow decomposition to happen. We have to have moisture. And we have to have available bacteria, so a bacterial load in the soil already. And then we have to have the fungus. So a big log is going to take longer, but probably a medium-sized, 50-year-old to 100-year-old tree, going to take about 1.5 years to 2 years to break down if it's a green wood that's falling down. It's already rotten a little bit. It's had some standing dead tree action going on. Falls, it's going to be basically soil back in about 1 year, maybe even less.
That is crazy. Is this not crazy?
Yeah, it's kind of creeping me out.
I'm getting a little nauseous on it. So you have to remember too that trees have immune systems, and they're trying to fight infection all the time. And all it takes is one hole. If you get one hole in a tree, then bacteria can get in or fungus can get in. They have beneficial bacteria, beneficial fungus, just like human beings do. And so a tree might be dying and you don't even know it by just looking at it. But you know who can tell? What animal can tell if a tree is dying before other animals know? Yes.
A vertebrate?
A vertebrate animal that flies through the forest that is looking for decomposing trees without any signs except for mushroom signs. They can do mushroom signs. You know what I'm talking about, Almus, right? Okay. There's one bird especially that's an indicator species in our forest. It's an indicator of a healthy forest ecosystem. And they suck sap. Anybody know what it is? I gave you a hint with a name. Yellow-bellied sapsuckers. They actually can identify a mushroom called fomies. It's a tinder fungus. And they know when they see a tinder fungus, oh, heart rot. That tree has heart rot. And that's the beginning of the end. That's it. Maria asks, do you think the extra amount of insects from all the rotting logs might pose a risk to the other vegetation at Oatland Island Wildlife Center?
That's a good question.
Well, there are definitely insect pests, right? Yeah. Boring insects that come in and once it starts, you can't really stop it. Yeah. You know, the world is it's full of chemical signals and cues that we don't know that are there. So if a tree is rotting, there's chemical cues out there, and that's your mom, Marcia. That was a good question, Marcia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that was your mom's good question.
So, and I think it's important to remember too that there's not a difference between a dead tree in a forest and a dead tree maybe in a swamp area, except for the fact that the dead tree in the forest is going to rot from more of our invertebrates and more of our fungus than it may be in a swamp. So when you think about kind of the way things break down, we think about FBI.
Oh, the FBI.
The FBI. And this reminds us that we have to think about the fungus that's there, we have to think about the bacteria that's present, and we have to think about the invertebrate life. So the invertebrate life in a forest is going to be much more biodiverse than, say, a swamp where there's only going to be really aquatic invertebrates.
It's the same thing. All right, my friends, it is 11:45. We don't want to take your whole day. Maybe you'll get outside today and fight
over a log.
The yellow flies and flip over a log. But this is so exciting. There's so much potential here for learning. And it's just in what you would walk by and discard and say, oh, it's just a dead tree, right? No, it is an important part of the forest ecosystem, of the forest health. Massive food chains going on here. Super cool.
Yeah, I think that Michelle and I would just encourage you to remember that a lot of times nature shows and documentaries, they focus on these big giant megafauna, these fluffy mammals and stuff that we can see and get a close look at. And it's important to remember that like small is beautiful too, and that all the small things in the forest are really, really amazing, and we wouldn't have the forest without them. So send us ideas for our next Fooventures. There are lots of topics we can cover. This is a little bit of an experiment about how the rotting log. Maybe you want to see us talk about trees. Maybe you want to see us talk about our wild birds that are coming through right now.
We still have flying squirrels.
We have stuff in the barnyard to talk about. We didn't talk about Jubilee yet.
No, we haven't talked about any
or Joe.
Yeah,
there's lots of things we can talk about still. So send us your ideas, what you want to see. Otherwise, we're just going to pick.
Yeah.
And it's hard for us to decide.
Yeah. We have a hard time deciding because we love it all. Like you, because that's why you're here watching us. And we appreciate you. And we miss you very much.
Stay safe, guys.
Ask questions.